A pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and elsewhere. Fellow citizens of Guyana. This message belongs to the two major races in Guyana. Sometimes you all should wonder, why is he only stressing on the East Indian descendant and the African descendant? It's a reason, isn't it? Because we have Portuguese, Chinese, the mixed race, the native, but it's only the two of you having a problem. Why? Why? Now, I am not responsible for your ignorance. But again, I live between you. I know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I must be honest with you. The politicians, why don't they work for the nation of the country? And not only Guyana, but internationally. They came out, they do the campaigning, they promise you everything. You believe that there's Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, they have the key to heaven. God talked to them like these fly-by-night priests. God and Jesus talked to some of them. Friends, it is time for the world to be civilized. But before we get into civilized and you start to criticize, let me give you in one side. My condolence again every day goes out to the people around the world who's in farming, who's having unnecessary war because of corrupt politicians, such as Israel, Palestine, the African continent, and not forgetting the Arab world who do not want to give women their rights and don't want them to read and write. A friend told me Butaram means no education for women. I don't know how true it is. But why? If you are a man, you do not want to have an educated wife or sister or niece. Why you feel that they have no right to have an education? Friends, it is time for we to come out from primitive way of thinking and get civilized. Many wars have passed between 1,000 years ago. Maybe millions, because nobody really knows when this world was created. Even though we have seen some fictitious thing, and who was first and who was second, and who created the wheel and who do the mathematics, and who all of this nonsense. God bless them, but we must go forward. Today, we have religious conflict. We have racial conflict. When will we stop to analyze and come together to understand we are wasting time? When? We have to come off of this religious struggle, this racial tension between races, as you call yourself, black and white. But you forget the brown, the yellow, the green, the blue, the purple, and whatever is. So I want to know if there's only two colors in the world. But let's get off of that. Let's stop talking about who slave who, because think about who's benefiting from it and who turned back in the Caribbean, Guyana, Africa, and elsewhere in India and using it against the same people that you are talking you want to help, and you're talking about the European who's the white man. Friends, you have an education. And I repeat it over and over. I'm getting fed up of it. Doctors and scientists, pilots, you name it, cricketers, you kicking soccer balls, making millions, billions. You playing basketball the same. And yet for all, you're spitting against the wind, it will come back in your face. If you look in India, what is happening? And you look up the mainland in Africa, we still have tribalism. People are eating wild meat, pulling roots from the ground, and Indian it is on Facebook. Friends, it is time for we to stop this fighting against one another and find a common solution. Everybody must contribute to make it better. Today, my greatest condolence goes out again to the Palestinian people. Every day there's an excuse. Every day we are killing Hamas and a leader, but we are killing children, women, and men. innocently. And most of all, we always hear about the 7th of October, but what about in June? What about in June? Where, according to the news, it's alleged 200 or something was killed. What about those who are occupying people's land and bulldozing their house and shooting at them? Friends, sometimes I ask who's right and who's wrong. Today, in family, there are problems. But when I talk about it, many of you get angry, especially Guyanese. Let's deal with our Guyanese brothers and sisters. The two major races. You Indians do not speak about race, but your caste system is stealing you from India. You go against the less fortunate, the less educated, because you have an education or you have money. You humiliate and try to embarrass people. But when it all comes down to the final analysis, you dead and leave everything behind and you go into the ground or they burn you. It is time for we to stop this nonsense and unite. You have to show more respect for your neighbors, your family. Yes, and therefore, by doing that, you're able to go far. In Guyana and many parts, if you're a Hindu, they don't want you to marry a Muslim, vice versa, or a Christian. Why? It's only a religion, unless it is a cult. I would like to do a little research into it. Because if all of you believe in Allah, Bhagwan, and God, it's the same person. Like I said in one of my videos a few months ago, Indian call water pani, Spanish call it agua, English call it water. The French got another name, and every other country and people got another name for it. But it's the same thing. You shovel with it. You make tea with it. You drink it. So regardless of what, same goes to human being. Spanish is hombre, man in English. In Indian, women is considered larky. What they say in Chinese, I don't know, but it's the same thing you're talking about. We are divided by boundaries, languages, culture. There's no such thing as white, black, and brown in human beings, unless they're from an alien race that we have never seen yet. Friends, politician, the world's greatest liar. And yes, they will do everything once you put them there. And believe it, they do it, not for you, but for themselves, friends, and family. Think of it. It should be an age limit also for politicians. And it should be a term limit for any politician in any country. But if they are doing good, then the nation must decide whether to extend it. But when you put politicians in power, and you come out and demonstrate against the law they make, and they put the police on you, who is your father, your brother, your uncle, or your friend, they got to do the job, they got to get paid. And if you start to protest very heavily, they shoot you with tear gas, or maybe they shoot you. Some country, they got the people to go to your house, burn it down with the family. That is not politician. Those are criminal elements. But you all fall for it. If they are Muslim and you're Muslim, you want them. If they are Hindus and you're Hindus, you want them. If they are Christian and you're Christian, you want them. That's not how it be. Always use the opposite, so you could get a better future than using your own at times, because they're very deceitful. Politicians. In Georgetown, Guyana, I grew up, and I've seen a lot under the Burnham government. I've seen advantage. I have seen so many things. I walk around, friends. I have seen so many things in Guyana that sometimes I ask myself, who's really who? I have been to many countries around the world, and Guyana is the most corrupt country immediately, right now, than any other part of the world. Giving the resources, and you, the black race, still with this slave talk, white man slave, your ancestor. What have you done to the Amerindian and other races? I keep hammering it. Y'all may not like it. And if some of you say that I talk too much, get rid of the Quran, the Bible, and the Ramayana because a priest can release the same thing to you every time. It's all about getting better. It's all about unity. So for those in Guyana who intermarry with different race and people of different religious cycles, you should be given an award, man. Because you are stamping out the illiterateness from the ignorant fools who don't know better. Ladies and gentlemen, many politicians go into power not because they love you, it's to get rich and plenty backdoor deal. I guarantee you, most of them take bribe internationally, starting from India to Africa, where the two major races of Guyana come from. Why certain times when you say it's time to release the politician, they create a problem? Tell me. Something sweet, isn't it? You speak out and you vote for them and they still lock you up and beat you and get you killed when you tell them they're wrong. When will you get civilized? That is why I always will say that Jehovah's Witnesses are the best. They don't vote for nobody. Because whether they know it or not, election begins with a story between Jesus and Barabbas. Good versus the wicked. And the preachers them and the rich people bribe the hungry belly people like we got in Guyana and around the world to vote in favor for the corrupt one and kill the innocent man or woman who have good intention. Think. Let's deal with Guyana. The most important thing that I'm talking about Guyana. The Speaker of the House, Mr. Mansour Nadir, let him tell Bharat and Ali about George Correa. Let Vishnu Bandhu also tell you that. We give a car that they put the cow head on in URP for the benefit of Guyanese. I was with the WPA. I spoke by the Market Square with APNU. At the time was PNC, not APNU. But then again, what the blacks have done to the Indian and other race, you're lucky to still be in politics. If you have done that to the Jews, if they had arrived in Guyana, they would have wiped Buxton out, Plaisance, Agricola, then Amstel, and many other areas of the hotspot of you black people. And the innocent one would have suffered because of you illiterate bastards that creating the problem. But Guyana got great magician. A helicopter fall, couple people dead, but 2 men survived it without a scratch or broken bone. And if you drop from a 6-story house, you're dead. A 3-story house, all you put on hand, break up, you're dead too. But you come in with an helicopter from a height with a speed, everybody else dead, what was important, but the soldiers survived. Friends, then it break down. If I remember right, it's alleged, I gotta use that. A prisoner claimed he come out and light the fire and went back in the prison. Y'all are better than Houdini, man. When y'all lay down to sleep, y'all ever realize what y'all are saying or what y'all are doing? Friends, you have children. The hole you are digging for others, they will fall in it. The curse that you reveal on people, your children will suffer for it, and your grandchildren. The man who killed Rodney, it's alleged, I can put it. What become of him? They said he died in Cayenne. They kill him. They don't want him to talk. According to information, he leave Freedom House an hour or 2 before the death of Rodney. So, Mr. Ali, in due respect to you, we want a day for the late Walter Rodney. And we want a statue to be built in his honor. Because he was the only one gave Burnham a fight, but Chedi joined with Burnham to get rid of the man. And if you all want to convict me for that, Burnham got to come and convict me, and Dr. Jagan. Nobody can act on behalf of them, because that means if they come to convict me and say that something wrong, then they're fake dead, then the whole nation who support them must be tried. What you think? But no crime pays, my friend. You may not like what people are saying, providing they speak the truth. But where are you going? You're going to dead and leave everything. King Alexander the Great, a champion of war of Greece. When he was about to die, he summoned all his advisors, and he made it be known clearly. He says, the day when I die, I would like you to put me on the coffin or whatever shed they was taking him on. Leave my 2 foot out on my hands. Let them see I came with nothing and I'm going with nothing. Friends, I want to ask the people in Plaisance or Buxton, according to information is alleged, when the late Eddie Jagan died and they were taking him to Babu Jan, and the procession was going up to the East Coast to go to Babu Jan, they said the people in Plaisance or Buxton stopped the procession, jump up, open the casket and say, yes, that is him. What those black people in Plaisance or Buxton know, make them have to do that. That is to tell you Burnham didn't die when he claimed he died. Magabi country. Because former Rhodesia, a friend of mine says that he have seen a man like Lyndon Sampson Forbes Burnham in a big house in former Rhodesia, where Magabi was. Then legend have it that after scrapping the train station of the three county, some of the line and the carriages and the engine went there. It sounds a little fishy, but then we have to question it. Again, where did it put us? Guyana is 83,000 square miles with 300 or something islands according to information. Many Caribbean islands don't even have what we have, but many Guyanese have to go there because of crime in Guyana. They are honorable, decent black people as much as Indian, but the majority don't, illiterate, listen to corrupt politicians, and the pandit, the Meiji, and the priests. And that is why you suffer till now. You Indian, clean up your act. I remember speaking on the East Coast with the United Force in '92, if I remember right, by Charity Market, when an old Indian man said to me, Karaya bhai, and I repeat, quote unquote, by your tag nice bhai, if I be vote for you and your party win, can I open the whole house? Immediately I said, yes, uncle. Providing your wife, your daughter and granddaughter, your mother and your sister, everybody there. And if so be the case they are not there, I never tried nothing wrong, but I will try you. You hear? Insulted Indians, they all don't think. But the decent, honorable one, I am with you. Stop fighting for land that don't belong to you, like Aliat Latri Bagastone. And stop blocking road that don't belong to you, like Mohan Lal in Canaan, who say he buy a egress and address road, bringing you from the Lamaha to the public road, and we were there before him. And the NDC, and nobody saying nothing. I heard the man at the NDC, the Indian bastard cripple, he should drag and eat his filth. I wish him. And if we have children, they should follow pattern. Let the curse of the fathers drop upon his children and the grandchildren. And who said it better than Jesus? 7th generation shall answer the call. But for you, the decent one, let's unite. Guyanese are living in Brooklyn and Queens. We have little Guyana, but Brooklyn don't have it, only the Indian department in Queens, Liberty. Think of it. Another thing, many of them Guyanese are coming over, Indian and black, they rent the basement and a little room And the money they are calling, they should be ashamed of themselves. Indian and black alike. Friends, where is this God? I call upon the military and the police force, stop fighting and killing for corrupt businessmen and for politicians. You owe it to your great-grandparents and your generation of the future. Let's form a national front government. At present, if Ali is doing good, it's our duty to support him and keep him there until we find the right leader. And why I call for a national front government steady? I am tired with the Coolie government and the black government. Guyana never had a national. So let's get the Amerindian their country and unite and put Guyana forward, and everyone deserves a piece of land, 50,000 US to build your house, and the law must change. No racism or religious battle. Open the door to the rest of the world, the Caribbean, Africa, India, and for our suffering brothers around the world. And let's make law. For this world belongs to God Almighty, Bagwana God. Have a good day. I hope this message gets y'all no hard feelings. Peace.